Is AI responsible for your job loss? You lose your job on a Tuesday afternoon. No warning, no explanation, just a Slack message. We've decided to move your workflow to an AI automation system for cost optimization. Sound dramatic? Maybe, but it's happening right now, today, to thousands of people across the globe. Welcome to Is AI Responsible for Your Job Loss? A podcast investigating one of 2025's most pressing questions. Is artificial intelligence actually stealing our jobs, or is it creating new opportunities we haven't noticed yet? I'm your host, and over the next 15 minutes, we're cutting through the hype, examining real data, and exploring what actually happens when AI meets the modern workplace. Because here's the truth nobody likes to admit the answer isn't as simple as yes or no. Real examples companies that actually did it. Let's start with actual stories. Not predictions, not speculation. Real companies that have already chosen AI over humans. In July 2023, a Bangalore-based e-commerce company called Dukaan faced a decision: keep its 90-person customer support team or replace them with a chatbot. CEO Sumit Shah chose the chatbot. He replaced 90% of his customer support team with a single AI system he built in-house. Support costs dropped by 85%. Customer wait times dramatically reduced. Job loss? Absolute. This wasn't hypothetical, it happened. Then there's Klarna. The Swedish fintech company announced it deployed an AI agent that could do the work of 700 customer service representatives. 700. They didn't lay off the workers immediately, but they made their position clear: human representatives are becoming optional. Microsoft's case is even more striking. In May and July 2025, the tech giant laid off 15,000 employees, about 7% of its global workforce. Among them, 32 in-house lawyers and 5 paralegals. Why? Partly because the company's legal team had already implemented AI to handle document review, contract analysis, and due diligence, work that junior lawyers used to do for years before moving up the ladder. And then there's the broader pattern. BT, the British telecom giant, is cutting 55,000 jobs by 2030 and replacing 10,000 with artificial intelligence. IBM, planning to replace 7,800 back-office roles, about 30%, with AI within 5 years. But here's where it gets really personal. 76,440 jobs have already been eliminated in 2025 alone, not by layoffs in general, specifically attributed to AI automation. That's 491 jobs per day, every single day. Which jobs are actually at risk? Now you're probably thinking, am I next? Let's look at the data. According to recent research, customer service representatives face the highest immediate risk, 80% automation probability by 2025. Why? Because chatbots are excellent at handling FAQs, basic troubleshooting, and routine queries. They don't get tired, they don't take vacation. They cost a fraction of a human salary. Data entry clerks are next, 7.5 million jobs globally at risk of elimination by 2027. Think about it. Most data entry is predictable, rules-based work, exactly what AI excels at. Retail cashiers, 65% automation risk. Interpreters and translators, accountants, junior lawyers, they're all vulnerable. But here's the shocking part. It's not just routine jobs. Writers, authors, journalists, content creators. These professions made Microsoft's list of top 5 most likely to be replaced. Why? Because AI can now write ad copy, blog posts, news summaries, and even social media content. The tools are good. Not perfect, but good enough for many business use cases. Even software engineers. The people who code AI itself are at risk. Mark Zuckerberg has stated that AI could replace many mid-level engineers by automating the repetitive coding tasks they spend most of their time doing. GitHub Copilot is already writing entire functions automatically. 3/4 of developers now use AI coding assistants in their workflow. White-collar workers are being hit hardest. And this is critical. Entry-level roles are disappearing fastest. A McKinsey study found that new graduate hiring in tech has dropped 50% since 2019. The traditional foot in the door, those foundational entry-level jobs, they're vanishing. For India specifically, it's even more dire. Research projects that 68% of white-collar jobs in India could face displacement within the next 5 years, particularly in finance and customer service sectors. These are the backbone of India's economy. The counter-argument, the other side of the story. But wait. Before you panic and decide to become a farmer, there's another narrative happening simultaneously. Here's the paradox that most headlines ignore. Even as companies eliminate jobs with AI, they're simultaneously hiring for new AI roles at breakneck speeds. In 2024, 119,900 AI jobs were created globally. How many were eliminated to AI? 12,700. That's a 9-to-1 ratio in favor of job creation. Think about that for a second. AI-related job postings jumped 25.2% in the first quarter of 2025 compared to 2024. Generative AI skills have exploded from 55 job listings in 2021 to nearly 10,000 in May 2025. That's a 180x increase in opportunities in less than 4 years. And the salaries? Median AI job salaries sit at $157,000. Workers with AI skills command a 56% wage premium over similar roles without those skills. That's up from 25% just last year. In other words, AI skills are becoming increasingly valuable, not less. The net job effect. Here's the big picture. The World Economic Forum estimates that AI will displace 9 million jobs globally, but create 11 million new ones, a net positive of 2 million jobs. Goldman Sachs research shows that generative AI could raise labor productivity by 15% in developed markets. That productivity doesn't happen without people. It happens because people use AI to do more with less time. And in India, the WEF projects 20 million new jobs created by AI by 2025, even as displacement happens. AI and data are expected to contribute $500, 540 billion to India's GDP. So the real story isn't AI is killing jobs. The real story is jobs are transforming and the gap between winners and losers is widening. Who wins? Who loses? Here's the uncomfortable truth. The jobs being displaced are routine, entry-level, often lower-wage roles. The jobs being created are higher skill, higher wage, and concentrated in tech and specialized fields. That means if you're a data entry clerk making $30,000 a year, and your job disappears, the new role created somewhere else is likely a machine learning engineer making $200. These aren't direct replacements for displaced workers. They're different jobs for different people requiring different skills. This is why the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, warned in 2024 that AI will likely worsen inequality. In advanced economies like the US, Europe, and Australia, AI will affect about 60% of jobs. In low-income countries, 26%. The wealthy nations have the infrastructure and skilled workforces to capture the benefits of AI. Developing nations don't. Yet. For India, this is a critical moment. 71% of Indian firms are actively investing in workforce training to manage this transition. But the scale is massive. India needs to generate 85 million jobs annually just to maintain current employment levels while integrating AI. By 2031 7 Indian workers may need to pivot to an entirely new career. The real question, what should you do? So we've established two truths. Your job might be at risk if it's routine, predictable, or entry-level, but new opportunities are being created faster than old jobs disappear. The question that actually matters, are you going to be displaced or are you going to be enhanced? 3 strategies for survival and thriving. Strategy 1, understand your risk level. First, be honest about your role. Ask yourself, what percentage of my job involves routine, predictable, repetitive tasks? If it's above 60%, you're in a vulnerable zone. But here's the nuance. Even if 60% of your job is automatable, only 0% of your job goes away if you add skills the automation doesn't have. You don't have to become an AI expert, but you have to become an AI collaborator. The safest jobs? Those requiring human judgment, creativity, empathy, emotional intelligence, and complex decision-making. Healthcare workers, educators, strategic consultants, therapists, skilled trades, these are hard to automate because they require reading human emotions and making complex contextual decisions. But even routine jobs can be protected by adding human value. A customer service representative who understands company strategy can become a customer experience strategist. A data entry clerk who learns SQL and analytics can become a business analyst. Strategy 2. Invest in AI skills, but not necessarily as an engineer. Here's what most people get wrong. You don't need a master's degree in machine learning. You don't need to become a data scientist. What you need is AI literacy. Understanding how AI works, what it can and can't do, and how to use it effectively in your role. If you're a writer, learn how to use ChatGPT to brainstorm and draft, then focus on what AI can't do, adding nuance, personality, original research, and human insight. If you're an accountant, learn AI-powered finance software. Understand how to interpret AI-generated reports and catch errors. Become the human filter on AI outputs. If you're in customer service, learn how to handle the complex cases that chatbots fail on and become the escalation expert. The jobs growing fastest aren't just AI engineers and data scientists. They're AI-assisted roles, product managers with AI expertise, marketers using AI tools, writers leveraging AI, analysts augmented by AI. These roles are growing 7.5% annually, even as total job postings fell 11.3% during economic uncertainty. 71% of employers say they'd rather hire a less experienced candidate with AI skills than a more experienced one without. Let that sink in. Employers are valuing AI proficiency over experience. Strategy 3. Consider your industry and timeline. Some sectors are ahead of others in AI adoption. Tech, finance, customer service, these are in the thick of AI integration right now, but healthcare, education, and skilled trades are moving slower. Timeline matters too. If your job has a 90% automation risk, you don't have 5 years. You have maybe 18 months. The researchers estimate that major disruption accelerates in 2027, 2028. So if displacement is coming, it's coming sooner than the next decade. And here's a counterintuitive point. Companies that build AI tools internally become better at it than companies trying to buy off-the-shelf solutions. This means internal innovation departments are hiring, while routine corporate operations are contracting. If you want a stable job, consider moving toward teams that are building solutions, not just consuming them. For India specifically, Tier 2 cities like Jaipur, Jodhpur, and Udaipur are seeing 30–40% surges in tech jobs. Geographic mobility, even within India, could open doors that exist nowhere else. The bigger picture, WHATS really happening. Here's what nobody talks about when they discuss AI job displacement. The historical pattern is always the same. When tractors replaced farm workers, society panicked, and rightfully so. Millions of farm jobs disappeared. But agricultural workers didn't disappear. They moved to manufacturing. Manufacturing jobs then moved to services. Services are now moving to knowledge work, and knowledge work is being augmented by AI. The disruption is real, but it's also constant. The economy always transitions. What's different this time? Speed and scope. The agricultural to industrial shift took 100 years. The industrial to service shift took 60 years. The service to knowledge shift took 40 years. AI is accelerating the pace. That's the real crisis. Not that jobs are disappearing, but that they're disappearing faster than workers can retrain. That's also why policy matters. The countries, companies, and individuals investing aggressively in reskilling right now, they'll be fine, better than fine. They'll thrive. IKEA provides a model. Instead of eliminating call center jobs when AI took over, they retrained 3,000 plus workers to become interior design advisors. These jobs pay more, require more skills, and create more customer value. Everyone won. That's the vision worth fighting for. Not how do we prevent AI, but how do we transition people to better work? Closing. So, is AI responsible for your job loss? Not entirely. But it's responsible for accelerating the loss of routine, predictable, entry-level work. And that's happening faster than most people realize. But here's what AI isn't responsible for. Your decision to learn new skills, your decision to stay curious, your decision to adapt. The people who will be devastated by AI are those who assume nothing will change. The people who will thrive are those who see disruption as a prompt to evolve. You have maybe 18 months before the real acceleration hits. Use that time wisely. Learn AI tools. Understand your industry's automation roadmap. Start thinking about what unique value only you can provide, because that's what survives AI displacement, human judgment, creativity, and judgment that machines can't replicate. AI isn't your enemy. Complacency is.